Hello everyone, I am the Lonely Hunter and welcome back to Call of Duty 4. And I am going from Battlefield 4 to Call of Duty 4. I am going from the present to the past, and it's kind of a psychological warfare. You will see that you will get lost in time by watching all those videos coming up. One video from a present title with good graphics, with great presentation, and another video from an older title. But there is a meaning in all of that, and I am going back and forth to see the compromises that have been made in the present titles to compensate for the new additions, to make players feel at home and to make for different play styles, because newer titles introduce new things, of course, and because there has to be some balance in those new features, then you see some changes being made. Now, you have been playing MW2, I suppose you are a hardcore Call of Duty fan, and you have picked up other titles as well, and this is why you have noticed probably the hacks at some period being, the ability to spot enemies all over the map, with you having a laser sight on your gun, the aimbot, that you could shoot anyone. Now, remember that laser sight on that gun in MW2 where people hadn't had the ability to shoot anyone? Now the laser sight is an attachment in Black Ops 2. Oh well, it was the same thing, it was the same render in the engine, and they decided to put it in the game. Remember the weird gun thing that you saw on your feed when you were killing a guy when you didn't have a gun in MW2 with a certain hack again? This was the symbol for the MP7, the overpowered gun in MW3. Well, these references are coming back and forth all the way, and I see them every single time I play those games, and it is kind of bad to see how all these things are implemented in the game, because you saw that people were able to spot anyone in the map back then with the rectangles, with the red rectangles that could spot anyone. Now this is an attachment in a different game. This is a target finder. Get sniped now with the Deagle, because Deagle can be a sniper rifle as well. So yeah, these things are kinda bad to see, because all those references that were kinda suspicious in previous titles that were referred to hacks are now in modern games, are now there for modern players to pick up. And another thing, in MW2 you saw that you could exploit the rate of fire of the FAL of the other semi-auto weapons, and you could get some acceleration in the rate of fire if you were using a modded controller. Yes, this could happen as well, but it got patched, I think, in later titles, but it didn't stop people from finding a way around it. You see now the SCAF controllers with all those trigger stops, with all those features, and you see me now getting bumped by this dude, and that was kinda hilarious to see, because I decided to find the lobby in this game, and it was kinda hard to find the lobby in this game. I was waiting for 15 to 20 minutes. This is why the game is kinda choppy at times. This is why the game is kinda laggy at times, but understandably so. It is an old game, but it is still fun to play. So you see how the community embraces all those changes, and if you are a new player to the Call of Duty franchise, then you might have not been able to tell the difference. You may not be able to tell the difference between all those changes. You might find them suitable, you might find them acceptable, and sometimes there are players who embrace it and go to the other side. They just embrace it wholeheartedly, and they are like, oh, I do not accept anything else than a trigger stop on my SCAF, even though it is something that plays with the rate of fire of the weapons, and I accept it. Or I use target finder for the remaining of my Black Ops 2 career, let's say, because this is something that I am comfortable with, and this is something that gets me kills. Now, if you say that to a player who who is currently playing Call of Duty 4, or if you say that to a player who is playing an older Call of Duty title where these things did not exist, then he will make fun of you. Then he will be like, what the hell is that? We didn't have these things when I was playing. And he will be right, because those things were something inappropriate. They were something bad when you were finding them in the games. Another thing, let's say about boosting, about hacking. Now you see other people are booting people out of the lobbies in League Play, for example, to get a cheap win. Now in Call of Duty 4 you didn't have those booters all the time. You didn't have the DDoSing happening all the time. You didn't have the connection interruptions, let's say, that were intentional. Also, you didn't have that kind of boosting a lot in older Call of Duty titles. Hell, in some titles back in the day, you didn't have sprinting, but now you have sprinting, and now you can exploit it even more because of the lightweight perks, because of the running perks that make it somewhat overpowered. So there are some compensations, there are some differences in the modern day titles that are accepted by the newer players and are criticized by the older players. What is your take on that subject? I'll see you guys later. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave it a like. I am out. Peace!